Podcast script, Emily's Cold Journey to Recovery. Hi everyone, my name is Emily, and today I want to share with you a simple yet important story from my life. It's about a time when I had a really bad cold, how I dealt with it, and what I learned from the experience. Sometimes, even the smallest health issues can teach us a lot about ourselves and how we care for our bodies. So sit back, relax, and join me on this journey. It all started on a chilly Monday morning in January. I woke up feeling unusually tired, but I thought it was just because of the cold weather. As the day went on, I started feeling worse. By the afternoon, I had a headache, my throat was sore, and my nose was runny. I knew I was coming down with something. At first, I tried to ignore it. I had a lot of work to do and didn't want to let a little cold slow me down. But by the evening, I was feeling completely miserable. My head was pounding, I was sneezing constantly, and I felt like I had no energy at all. I knew I needed to rest, so I went to bed early, hoping I'd feel better in the morning. The next morning, I woke up feeling even worse. I had a fever and felt achy all over. My throat was so sore that it hurt to swallow. My nose was blocked, and I could hardly breathe through it. I realized that this wasn't just a minor cold, it was something more serious. I decided to call my doctor and make an appointment. When I called the doctor's office, the receptionist was very understanding. She scheduled an appointment for me that afternoon. As I waited, I tried to keep myself comfortable. I drank lots of water and herbal tea, and I took some over-the-counter medicine to help with the symptoms. But nothing seemed to make much of a difference. When it was time for my appointment, I bundled up in my warmest clothes and headed to the doctor's office. The waiting room was full of other people who looked as miserable as I felt. I checked in at the front desk and took a seat, trying to stay as calm as possible. After a short wait, the nurse called my name. She took my temperature, which was quite high, and asked me about my symptoms. Then she led me to an examination room where I waited for the doctor. I was feeling anxious, but also relieved that I was finally going to get some help. When the doctor came in, he greeted me warmly and asked me to describe how I was feeling. I told him about my headache, sore throat, runny nose, and fever. He listened carefully and then examined my throat and ears. He also listened to my breathing with a stethoscope. After the examination, the doctor explained that I had a severe viral cold. He told me that while there was no cure for a viral infection, there were several things I could do to feel better. He recommended plenty of rest, staying hydrated, and taking over-the-counter medications to relieve the symptoms. He also advised me to take it easy for the next few days and avoid any strenuous activities. He reminded me that rest was crucial for my body to recover. The doctor then wrote down some recommendations for over-the-counter medicines that could help with the congestion and sore throat. I thanked the doctor and headed home, feeling a mix of relief and frustration. I was relieved to know what was wrong and what I needed to do, but I was frustrated that there was no quick fix. I knew I had to be patient and give my body the time it needed to heal. Over the next few days, I followed the doctor's advice closely. I stayed in bed, drank lots of fluids, and took the recommended medications. My husband, John, was a huge help. He made sure I had everything I needed and took care of the household chores so I could focus on resting. Slowly but surely, I started to feel better. My fever went down, and the congestion in my nose started to clear up. My throat was still a bit sore, but it was improving. I was grateful for the small improvements and tried to stay positive. One of the most important things I learned from this experience was the importance of listening to my body. Before, I had a tendency to push through illnesses, thinking that I could just keep going and everything would be fine. But this cold taught me that sometimes the best thing you can do is to stop, rest, and take care of yourself. I also realized the value of having a good support system. John's help was invaluable, and I was so thankful to have him by my side. It made me appreciate the little things he did, like making me tea or simply being there to keep me company. As I recovered, I started to think about how I could prevent getting sick in the future. I made a plan to improve my overall health by eating better, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. I also decided to be more proactive about seeing a doctor when I felt something was wrong, rather than waiting until it got worse. After about a week, I was feeling much better. My energy levels were back, and I was able to get back to my normal routine. I was careful not to overdo it, though. I continued to rest when I needed to and made sure to stay hydrated. Reflecting on this experience, I realized how important it is to take care of our health, even when it's just a common cold. It's easy to take our health for granted, but when we're sick, it affects every aspect of our lives. I learned to appreciate the days when I feel good and to be more mindful of my health. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it serves as a reminder to take care of yourself, listen to your body, and seek help when you need it. Health is one of the most valuable things we have, and it's worth taking the time to protect it. Before I end, I want to share a few tips for anyone dealing with a cold. Rest. Give your body the time it needs to heal. Don't push yourself too hard. Hydrate. Drink plenty of fluids to stay hydrated and help your body fight the infection. Medication. Use over-the-counter medicines to relieve symptoms, but always follow the instructions. Seek help. Don't hesitate to see a doctor if your symptoms are severe or not improving. Thank you again for joining me today. If you have any questions or want to share your own story, please reach out. Stay tuned for more personal stories and health tips on our podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media for updates. Until next time, stay healthy and take care.